I don't know what this man was thinking. I really don't. I wish I did. Actually, I really don't care. Who does that? Like, you're weird and you're just lucky I didn't snitch on you, because I've never been a snitch and I don't respect snitches at all. But that could have costed you your whole job. So next time we need to reevaluate, not get so drunk, because who the freak sends those kind of pictures to a young girl? Like, you're disgusting. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about something kind of disturbing that happened at work to me. My bracelet just broke, y'all. I'm so sad. Oh my god. This was my lucky bracelet. I'm really sad, guys. My mom gave this to me. I'm gonna keep this. I think I can take it to the store and have them fix it. That's really sad. But anyways, I'm gonna be talking to you guys about the time I got some disturbing pictures from some guy at work. It was disgusting, and ever since then I don't really talk to this man. Like, I try to avoid him at all costs, and I honestly, like, I give everyone a second chance, and I give everyone the benefit of the doubt, and I'm such a oh, everyone commits mistakes and it's okay type of person. But I felt uncomfortable as fuck, so what I try to do is just ignore that person. Obviously there's different people who would have handled it differently. There's people who would have gone all the way off, and I just removed myself from the situation, because that's a whole L as it is. Like, just not having me in your life is an L. So basically, let's just get into the story. Before we get started though, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, because we're on the road to 5K. Let's get it. Y'all know what it is or whatever. So anyway, this dude, I'm not gonna say the department or anything or his name, because I don't want to stir up old drama, but I remember he used to be kind of... Alright, sorry guys, my camera had died. But basically, this man used to work in one of the departments that I did not work in, and I would give him at least like 60 something years old. He was pretty close with one of the younger guys who worked in his department, who was actually his boss, but I mean, whatever. They were pretty tight, and he knew that his manager, which was the younger guy, had a thing for me. And I did a video, a few videos actually, on that, where like the manager of that department wanted to like buy me things, and I did like a sugar daddy video, and essentially that ended up causing me problems. And it's like a whole thing on my story times at work playlist, so make sure you check that out. And I would often talk to this older man for advice, because I was really young when that manager first started liking me, and we went out and stuff like that. And I would go to this older guy for advice, because he knew the manager, but he also had like a soft spot for me. And I would tell him, and I would be like, bro, I just feel like he's gonna try to play me because I'm so young, and he probably thinks he can get away with shit. And like, the older guy would give me advice, and he was basically like, he would tell me what it is in a way where I would know. Like, at first he was like, no, like everything's good, da, da, da. And then he was like, oh, well, I low-key like heard this, and please don't say anything. And I wouldn't say anything, but I would appreciate it, because it would help me keep my guard up. So I really did think he was like, had my back and my best interest. And obviously I had given him my number just in case one day like he needed anything, or like I needed something or whatever, just to have my number. And I didn't think much of it. Like, I thought of this man as my grandpa, like that's literally how it was. That manager who had a thing for me, or we had our thing going on or whatever, he ended up getting switched stores because he got promoted or something like that. So he went to a different store, and I stayed obviously in my store, and so did the older gentleman. So we were still working together, and I would see him and say hi, and everything was cool. I wouldn't talk to him as much, but I would still talk to him. And sometimes I guess he could have given off those creepy vibes, but I mean, I just barely spoke to him unless it was about the manager, so I didn't really think much of it. And I remember that at one point I feel like I was coming to him for a lot of advice, especially when like I knew that manager was about to switch stores. I would come to the older man and be like, what do you think, like what's going on, stuff like that. And he would also come to me and address it. He'd be like, oh, so did he get you anything for your birthday, or like how's that going? And I would just tell him stuff like, oh yeah, I'm tired in school, whatever. Like, it was always mature conversation. Like, it was never on some like sexual shit or like anything for him to do what he did. It was always just on some, honestly, like something about work or something about school. That's really what it was on. And I remember one night I all about to go to sleep, or did I just wake up? I don't know. All I remember one night is that I was in my bed, about to go to sleep. I'm pretty sure because, yeah, I was about to go to sleep because I couldn't sleep that night. So I was laying in bed just chilling on my phone, and I got a message from him, and it was pretty late at night. So I was like, oh, maybe something happened. And keep in mind, he used to close the store a lot. He didn't close the store that specific night. He had gone out, but me thinking like, oh, maybe he closed tonight. Like, I didn't know his specific schedule. And when you close the store at Publix, like, you be getting out like at 12 or 1 in the morning. So I just figured maybe something happened, and that's why he was contacting me. So, you know, I saw a message from him. I clicked the message. It was through WhatsApp. This man would message me through WhatsApp. We hadn't shared a lot of messages prior to the message that he sent me, so it's not like we would text or anything. Like I'm saying, like, yeah, we would talk in person, but it was just in person. It was just like, here's my number in case of something, but there was really nothing for us to be talking about outside of work, you know. So I remember I opened the message, and then it's just like a picture of his stuff. Okay, if y'all know what I'm saying. I don't think I can say it because I don't want to get my video taken down or anything, but y'all know what I'm saying. It'd be like down there. I was like, what the fuck? Like, what? I don't know if I have to crop that part out because I said that word, but anyway, you couldn't really see down there, like, you couldn't really see that. It was more like a picture towards the side, so you saw that he wasn't wearing anything, but you didn't actually see his, you know, thing. I feel like maybe if I wouldn't have answered right away and like told him the fuck off, or if I wouldn't have said anything, maybe he would have sent something more. But I was laying in bed, like I was on my phone, so I was active, and I had clicked on it immediately, obviously thinking it was just something about work or whatever. And I opened that picture, and I was like, oh my god, like, what is this? Because I could tell, first of all, I wanted to prevent it from going any further. Second of all, I could tell this man had no clothes on. Like, he was full-blown naked, but you couldn't see the front because he had sent it like from the side, and you couldn't see it from the side either because like his leg and his arm, I guess I covered that, so thank God I didn't have to like see that. But still, I could tell, like, okay, he's naked, whatever. Like, I didn't want to see that, you know. It was just so disturbing, and I immediately texted him, and I was like, you're freaking disgusting. Like, I put a message like that, and I think I blocked him right in that moment. And after that, I called the lady who works in his department, and she was another lady who had his same position. She was also older, but she would see me like as family. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, can you believe what he just sent me? And I was like, I can't go to sleep, why would he send me that? And she was like, oh my god, he's always been so respectful, like, that's so shocking that he would send something like that. And it was like a, you know, I was like, I couldn't sleep, whatever. And you know, when someone sends you a WhatsApp photo, it saves to your camera roll. So I went to my camera roll, I deleted that, I deleted everything. I think, but right before I could block him, he had sent me something, but he was drunk because he sent me something that made no sense. So I figured he was drunk, and I just blocked him immediately instead of continuously telling him off, because I was like, this man isn't going to understand anything I'm saying because he's so drunk. Then obviously time passes by, whatever. The next day, I don't know if he tried to contact me, whatever, because I had blocked him. Like, that's disgusting. Like, oh my gosh, I was like in shock. And keep in mind, I was also younger, so like to me it was like, oh my gosh, and I'm still a virgin, so like seeing something like that was like, you know, I know I didn't see like the actual thing, but still, you know, it was like something that could have led to that. So I was like so in shock. I was like, what is this? Like, this is disgusting. Why would he send me this? Like, what made him think it was okay to send me this, you know? So then when I would see him in person, I would just try to dodge him. I spoke to some of the ladies, like one of the ladies and one of the men in his department, because at first I was iffy. Like, what do I do? Should I go tell the store manager about it? What should I do? Now keep in mind, I knew this old man. I knew it had been a mistake, and I'm such, like I said in the beginning of the video, such a, like, everyone deserves a second chance and giving people the benefit of the doubt. And I figured, I knew it was a mistake, and I was like, think about it, like, you know, sometimes when you add random people on Snapchat, I don't know if it happens to y'all, but they be sending some weird stuff. Like, you know, it's not like he physically put his hands on me and this and that. And I know it's still disrespectful as hell, like, and knowing what I know now, maybe I would have, handled it completely different. I definitely would have handled it completely different. Well, not completely, but, you know, I can only speak for what happened in that moment. I can't speak for what I would do today, or, you know, what I am gonna do. I just can only tell you guys what I did in that moment. And what I did in that moment was, I was super indecisive about who to tell. And it was also really, really embarrassing to me that this freaking old ass man is like sent me some shit like that. And I didn't know who to tell, and I didn't want to cause more drama like in the store. Well, at that time I had never gotten into any problems at the store, but I didn't want that to be like my first problem. And you know, there were managers in my store, I've said this in so many videos, like there's good and there's bad, and there's managers who I feel like probably would have just been like, oh well, did you do anything to provoke the situation? Like they're not one of those type of people to be like, oh, that's just dead wrong, because it's just dead wrong. It doesn't matter what I, let's say, would have done, but I didn't do anything. But you know, I didn't feel like dealing with the confrontation. I was just scared, you know, and I didn't have any like the guidance to what I should do. So I remember talking in his department, there were quite a few adults who I was close to, including that manager who I had a thing for, because even though like, let's say me and that manager didn't work out, I always knew that he did have like a good interest for me at heart. Like he never like tried anything slick like that. You know, he likes me, but he just knew I was young and it realistically wasn't gonna work out. So I don't know, I guess he just wanted to buy me shit, I don't know. But I remember like the lady who I called my aunt, and she was like, handle it however you need to handle it. She was like, that's so weird, he's always been so respectful, he's never talked about something like that or done something like that. And the lady who I call my aunt, her brother actually is a store manager, and she had told me, she was like, I spoke to my brother about it, and he said that, you know, he had never done something so disrespectful before either. Like everyone was in shock. Like this was the first time this man actually did something so bold, I guess. And like I said, I was indecisive of, do I go to the store manager and say something? Because if I say something, first of all, I'm going to potentially get this man fired, because I could have turned it into a big deal. And that's the thing, I was scared to say something and then it blows up, or you know, how do you handle a situation when someone tells you like that? You need to get that man out of the store, because that's a violation of a minor. That's the thing, I was a minor, and I knew if I said something that he was going to potentially lose his job or switch stores. And you know, it was like, I don't know, I know there's gonna be so many different opinions about what I should have done, and yeah, maybe I should have said something, but I didn't, because I didn't want to get him in trouble. And that's a dumb mentality, because you got to think of yourself first. And if I felt that uncomfortable, I should have said something. Because if I would have felt that uncomfortable today, I would have said something and I would have handled it differently. And I feel like I just wouldn't give out my number like that anymore, you know? Like, truthfully, don't date anyone at work, don't get involved with that. You just like, you grow up and you live and you learn it, whatever. I knew this old man had kids, and he had told me his whole life story about how he had to like abandon 2 of his kids, and I had heard it all, and he didn't have the easiest background story. And I knew he was, you know, short on money, and you know, I would have felt really guilty if I would have gotten him fired, because I know at the end of the day it was just a photo. And what if he accidentally sent me the photo and it was meant for someone else? It's not like he physically put his hands on me or touched me or anything, and I know it should have still been, you know, but I couldn't help but you know, have that goodness in my heart, like I just don't want to get this man fired. And then I figured, I was like, maybe if I just, you know, tell them that I'm not that hurt by it, that, you know, they don't need to fire him. I was like, maybe they'll just switch him stores. But I still felt like iffy about telling them to do that, which to this day, that's definitely what I should have done. He should be at a different store. I shouldn't have to still be working with him to this day. But I was like scared. I was like, I don't want them to switch him stores, and then everyone's looking at me like I'm problematic or like something like that. And you just can't worry about all these if and whats. And I was new, I was a minor. I was messing with one of the managers. Like, you know, it wasn't messing in the sense of like talking to him and going out. I wasn't like doing anything sexual with the manager either. But it was just so, I didn't know what to do. And then I told the lady, and she didn't really give me the guidance either that maybe she should have. She encouraged me. She was like, I definitely think if you want to talk to the manager, go ahead. But I was just so scared. Like, I was like, I don't want to get this man in trouble, because I know he has a bad situation at home, and if he loses his job, like, you know, I don't know what can happen to him. I remember that I would walk sometimes down the aisle, and I could tell that he had been wanting to talk to me, but I would just avoid him. And speaking about it just gets me like upset again, because like poor little me was just like, not poor little me, but you know, like innocent me didn't know how to handle it. And I wish I could just go back and be like, if you feel like something's not right, you should speak up, because I didn't speak up, and that's a big mistake. Like, why would I not speak up? I'm always putting other people's feelings and emotions ahead of mine, and that's not valid. That's not even fair, because no one puts mine in front of theirs. And anyways, so one day he came up to me and he was like, look, I just want to say something really quick. I know you don't want to talk to me. And he was just like, that was a huge mistake. I was drinking, I was drunk, I didn't mean it. And I was just like, okay. Like, my thing in my head was, I'm not gonna snitch on you so you can stay in this store, but don't you ever talk to me again. That's what I was on, you know? So I was just like, okay, all right, all right, bye. Left. You know, I didn't even say anything. And after that, to this day, I avoid contact with him, everything. I think like now, I saw him once like 2 months ago, and it was just so awkward because it was just like me and him in the break room, and I just looked at him and he was like, hey, and I was like, hey, like something like that. Because I know it's not like the worst thing that he could have possibly done. But that said, I really tried to avoid this man, and I don't think it was okay. But I also don't think it was like the worst thing that could have happened. I would definitely say like if it was like some type of stalker thing, like yeah, it would have been a bigger deal. But I just think maybe he sent it to the wrong person. I know he probably thought I was like pretty or something like that. But I don't know what exactly it was that he was trying to achieve. But nevertheless, I avoid him, and I try not to give out my number like that, because that's the stuff you get into. And a lot of my experiences at Publix, that's why I sit here and talk to you guys about it, because I already experienced that, and I don't want you guys to experience that, because I know how uncomfortable that can be, and I don't want that for y'all. So that's basically the end of my story. I just avoid him to this day, and it was crazy and disgusting, and I don't know why he would do that. He has kids, he has a wife, a very jealous wife, because that man, I found out, cheats on his wife. So y'all probably know why he sent me that now. I understand why he sent me that now. He was probably, I don't know, trying to look for something. I don't know. But he cheats on his wife because his wife called the store a few times and was like, yo, my husband, is my husband there? Da-da-da. And he's a Spanish guy. They were like, oh, is my husband there? Da-da-da. And like, he hadn't been at work, and that's what I heard. Obviously it wasn't a me. She would like she wasn't jealous of me, or none of that. It was, you know, I guess some other lady who he had in his life, because this man messed with different females, I guess, different old ladies, because they're all old. But anyways, I'm just gonna go ahead and conclude my video here, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because we're on the road to 5K. Let's get it. Thanks so much for watching, for supporting and showing love. I'll see y'all soon. Bye.